Pam, it's so good to see you, my friend. It's been a while. So much to talk about, so little time. Let me just jump right into it here. Are you currently in Portland, Oregon?
No, I came back. I was there 6 days. Came back because my boyfriend's coming back from DC. I have to come back and get him. We're going back tomorrow.
Understood. So while you were in Portland, Trump, of course, sent in the federal forces. I want to ask you, because you have a very unique perspective as being somebody that participated in the insurrection, and you certainly understand what this administration is talking about. Did you feel like they were protecting the city? I'm talking about the federal forces. Did they feel like it was protecting the city, or was this all theater to scare the hell out of America?
Yeah, what happened? I was watching everything that was going on, and something in me said something's not right here. I don't understand something's wrong. And so I thought about it for a day, and I called my boyfriend. I said, I'm going to Portland. I've got to see for my own eyes. And if there is violence, I want you to know right now, I'm going to report it. If these protesters are violent or causing a lot of problems, because I'm not going to hide facts. And he said, okay, but be very careful. And I said, well, the protesters are probably fine. He says, no, be careful about ICE. And I thought, what's he talking about? So that's what got me down there. I wanted to see for my own eyes, because on January 6th, how they've changed the narrative and lie about everything. And I thought, well, maybe this is what's happening. Maybe it's not, but I'm going to find out myself.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. This administration continuously claims that Portland is on fire. I watched as Caroline Leavitt made the claims from the podium in the briefing room, quoting President Trump, that Portland is on fire. While you were there for 6 days, when you saw Portland firsthand, is that true? Or were they just lighting a political match? Were they gaslighting the American people?
Absolutely. Just like you said, it's a theater. It's a movie. And you watch after 2 days, I started seeing the pattern, what is actually going on. And of course, I talked to a lot of people. And what happens, ICE comes out, cars are coming out, official cars. They push them back, but they push them back very aggressive. All they have to do is ask them to move, and they'll move. And then anybody that does anything, and I'm telling you anything, one girl, they asked her to move back. I see her feet. I got it on video. She's moving back. She puts her hands up, and they pepper spray her. And the two of the officers were laughing about it. And this is a young girl that couldn't breathe from that pepper spray. And then it happens every hour. It's a show. I mean, they show the smoke bombs, and they have to use them because they're so violent. It's funny. I'm laughing because everything you're hearing is kind of funny when you're actually there. You see what's happening. It's nothing what they're saying. Not at all, Michael. I'm telling you.
But the term fire, I think what they're actually referring is not so much, and we're going to get into that, is the physical confrontation. They're actually talking about literal fire, making claims that Portland is burning, that this group of Antifa, this group of protesters are literally burning Portland to the ground. Did you see any fire when you were there?
No, they yell a lot. And when you're in a protest, you yell a lot. You hold your signs. They're angry. They should be for what ICE is doing. But there's no violence. I told them if I see anything, I'm reporting and I'm leaving. I'm not going to be a part of you hitting officers or pushing officers or doing anything that I would not want people see and get hurt. They said, we're not here to hurt anybody or be violent. We're just I said, okay. And sure enough, you've seen nothing like that. Nobody's harming. Now, there was one man that spit on an officer, and that's not okay. He shouldn't have done that. But
that's actually, in law, that's an assault.
Yeah.
It's a physical assault.
Yeah, you're going to have some people in there, bad apples, doing the wrong thing, but it's not the picture. It's just a little incident from somebody that might have been drinking too much or something, but no, I would have stayed for 6 days if it had been violent. I would have been out of there the first day. But I went around, I talked to all of them. I met, they started bringing me food and water, and they're so nice. And I witnessed, in fact, I met a doctor. She's a breast cancer surgeon.
Wow.
And we're talking, we're staying in contact. And I'm sitting there during the daytime, and here's all the citizens coming, and I met them, and there's a is it paralegal? Yeah, there's a paralegal lawyer, school teachers, just your average citizen like you and me, dressed normal like myself, and just yelling at the ICE saying, "What are you doing? There's no violence here." They're all saying the same thing. So it's kind of funny
Well,
what you're
what did ICE
hearing.
then? Well, how did ICE respond? To them when they were saying that. One of the things that Trump does is he gaslights. Let me be very clear.
Oh,
He
yes.
puts on that entire show of the ultra strength. If you spit, we will hit. What did the officers do to that man who spit at them? And
Oh, yeah.
more, yeah. Tell me.
They take you down fast and hard and mean. I mean, very aggressive. What also, I don't know if you heard about the lady. She's 84 years old. She was in the crowd just protesting with her little sign and her husband, and pushed her down and cut her head real bad. 84 years old. I mean, and then an elderly man with his granddaughter was standing there. I was right next to him, and they shoved him, and his phone goes flying, and it pushed her. She was kind of
But
next
okay,
to her.
so tell me, because I really want my audience to fully understand what you saw with your eyes. I really want them to get the full picture of what's going on there so that they could understand that the information that we're receiving from right wing cable, right wing media, from the Oval, from the briefing room is not true. What did this 84-year-old man, the one that was standing next to you with his granddaughter, what did he do that caused the police officers to push him?
Nothing. He was
Just
talking,
standing there?
and he wasn't talking inappropriate. He was talking to him about policies and Trump and why you working for an agency, things like that. It was just a normal talk, not a yelling at him, saying any curse words or nothing. He was a decent, the way he was talking. I was like confused. What did he get pushed for? It was like shocked me.
And you have this stuff on video?
Yeah, I've been putting up as much as I'm still not done. I've been very busy trying to get as much as I can up. But yeah, he just out of there. And another protester, of course, a transgender, is all by herself across the street in the daytime, has done nothing. Nothing. I'm telling you, I was watching. I got that on video too. They come out and they arrested her. I don't know what she did. And then I talked to her later. She said, I think my foot was a couple of inches over the blue line. I thought, what? That's insane. And they took her down so heavy where her nose and mouth was dragging on the floor,
Oh,
the
wow.
ground. I mean, the ground. I kept seeing these scenes over and over. I said, what are they doing? Because, like I said, when I see somebody spitting an officer or doing something, that's not good. But I'm telling you, we're doing nothing. It's so
Right.
frustrating to watch this. It's so painful.
Because the image that they're selling right now out of, again, this administration is that protesters are acting like violent mobs, assaulting police at every turn. And again, I'm so thankful to have you here on Mea Culpa because you were there. And in fact, I want to even, before I even get into the question, you were MAGA. I mean, you were a true Trump supporter to the extent that you felt compelled to go to the Capitol on January 6th because you knew that Trump was going to be there and you wanted to support him. You went in, you ended up suffering, you got arrested. But they're claiming, and I say this because I want people to understand that you are not partisan. You are actually one of the least partisan people that I think I've met in a long time. They're claiming that these protesters are no different than violent mobs assaulting the police. Did you actually see that? Or is that narrative juiced up for, let's say, Fox prime time?
There is no one hurting the officers at all. They're yelling at them. They're saying things that are kind of funny.
By the way, that's the First Amendment. You're permitted.
They're staying behind the blue line. I witnessed an official car coming in, no ice coming out. They moved peacefully so that car could get in there. This having them come out and push them away is a show. It's a show. It's an example. They're trying to show you that they have to move them away because they're so violent and they got to protect the cars coming in. No, they'll move if cars are coming in. I have it on video. They're moving. All they have to do is come out and say, "Would you guys move when cars are coming out? Because we don't want to have to create a scene here." They don't do that. No, they come out very aggressive, and anybody just yells too loud. I mean, just talking, they'll arrest you. I was so scared there. I'm telling you, I wanted to leave. I felt like I was in Germany. Because I'm watching them get arrested for you don't know what, anything you could be doing, nothing violent. Of course, if you're breaking the law, you're breaking the law. Of course, they're going to get arrested. But there's nothing you do. I'm so paranoid around ice. I'm afraid to get too close to video because you don't know. They're tagging people, and what they do is about an hour later, they come and get you in force. I was there when there was about 30, I don't know, but man, they came out like an army and chased this person down the street and arrested him. And I found out later it was because he was in the street or something. I mean, what? And then they knocked down a female. She was over their video and got too close and he pushed her and then they all came and arrested her for what? I mean, that could have been me. But when they were
See,
saying
the funny
back,
thing is, yeah, it could have been you. I mean, you're
yeah,
describing it. It's 30 individuals. I suspect it was male and female
the
in
officers,
military gear. Yeah, with the
yeah.
officers, male and female,
Oh, it's frightening.
in military gear, camouflage, right? Tactical weapons, probably
Mm.
across their chest,
Oh,
in the
yeah.
streets of an American city.
I know.
Did that look like law and order to you,
Oh,
or
no,
does it
it
look
was,
like a war zone?
it's ice that makes it look bad. Why do they need 30? Oh my God. They come running out. I mean, fast. It's so scary. My heart was going to, yeah, I can't just thinking about it. See, I'm traumatized from watching this for a guy that was just on the street. What? Give me a break. Couldn't they get one of the PDs to just take him and give him a ticket or something? I mean, come on. It's all theater. It's to have you think that there's violence down there. That's it. Trump knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's doing theater. Wouldn't be surprised if they had a little book. Well, what would we do next? To make it look bad, because it's all just theater, like you said. Nothing what they're sharing with you. And in fact, I want to talk to you about Nick and Katie and what the facts are about those two. But
Well, tell us. Tell us.
well, let's start off with Nick. Oh my God. I have the interview from the girl, and what happened, I got there just after she claims being hit, just afterwards. I got that video. So I didn't see her acclaimed assault. What had happened, it was real windy. And you know how you hold your flag with the pole behind you sometimes? But she was doing that to keep people away from her. These are teenage girls that Katie was following. Was I talking? Yeah. Katie was following and kind of stalking them. Now, they don't know who Katie is, and she has her bodyguard with a gun, right? So if you're a young teenager and you're looking back and you're seeing this lady and a bunch of other people and a man with a gun, you get scared. I would. And so they started walking faster. They must have got a hold of some of their friends to come help them because they were getting afraid that somebody was trying to kidnap them because they're teenagers. She gets behind her and the wind blew and just touched her eye barely. She got a little mark there. They didn't hit her. They no, they have an absolute rule. If anybody there is going to be violent towards people, they want them to leave, even their own protesters. I mean, they're talking about themselves. They have a rule. We're not going to get into any alteration, except, of course, for defense. I mean, somebody's coming to choke you, you're going to have to do something. But no, she was not purposely hit. But I'm laughing because the stories they make up is just amazing. It's just
Amazing is right. Now, let me just go back for a second and again explain to my listeners, to those that don't know, Pam, who you actually are. You branded yourself the MAGA Granny. It's great, by the way, great name.
no. Fox News did that.
Okay, Fox News, still a great name. Why do you think, and again, because you were very much entrenched in the MAGA ideology, why do you think so many of Trump's followers bought into this dystopian version of Portland? Even when people like yourself, even when the local coverage is telling a completely different story. I mean, we're not even talking about, a granny apple and and a red apple. We're talking about like a grape and a watermelon. They are two completely different stories. Why are they buying into this dystopian version?
Trump has hijacked their brain. Remember what he said? They're coming after me, but they're really coming after you. I stand in the way. So he made himself the savior. Got to trust Trump. He's trying to save this country from the Democrats that are trying to turn it into a communist country. That's very frightening, especially a layperson like myself, very naive, doesn't do any research, had lost my critical thinking. You trust the president? My God, none of them are totally honest, but nobody lies that big, right? Oh my God, he lied about everything, but he's a narcissist. They have those tactics, the gaslighting, the love bombing. Remember on January 6th, that audio, he said, we love you, he makes them feel good. All the tactics of a narcissist that he uses, and they're very good. And because everyone I've talked to, I've asked them, are you willing to do your own research? Just come back and prove me wrong. I mean, real research from somebody you could trust. They won't do it. Everything they're repeating is what Trump is telling them. Everything. I mean, I haven't found anybody say anything that Trump hasn't said. Antifa is a terrorist. What? They gave me a name. They calling me Pam Tifa. So I'm Antifa. Whatever. I like Pam Tifa. It's better than MAGA Granny.
I say to people all the time, Antifa doesn't even exist in the manner to which they're being described. Antifa is not like the Ku Klux Klan that has a headquarters, that has a grand wizard, a grand poobah, whatever the hell they call him, right? Where you could send money into them. They'll send you a card, therefore you become a card-carrying member of the Klan. It's no different than like the NRA that has a headquarters, and you have a head of the NRA and you become a member and so on. There is no physical address for Antifa. There is no president of any organization called Antifa. If you wanted to donate $1 or $1 billion tomorrow to Antifa, there is no organization that you could send it to, because Antifa is a concept. It's not an organization. So when you brand a concept as an enemy of the state, I'm not sure how that even works. Now you're saying that my belief that fascism is bad is now something that can direct me to prison, because I now too become an enemy of the state. If hypothetically I turn around and I believe that a woman should have every single right to make her own reproductive decision making, exclusive of the male. I believe that a woman should have the absolute right within which to make the decision. Her body, it's her baby, as far as I'm concerned. They could then turn around and tell you, Pam, that that ideology, very much like Antifa, is something that will make you into an enemy of the state because we don't believe it, and you could get jailed for it. I mean, we're really treading on a very dangerous precipice.
Well, let me tell you why they have the mask. They dunk them and they get a hold of their employee so they can get fired. MAGA caused them to dress the way they do because of those reasons. And they found them. They have, ruined their cars. They had them fired from jobs. They have to cover their face. They don't care if you know who they are, except for MAGA will take them and dox them. And oh my God. They're going out there now, and I have a picture of Joey Gibson. He's a Patriot Prayer. I don't know if you're familiar with Joey Gibson, but he's Patriot Prayer in Portland. He was involved in all that stuff in 2020. He's there, dressed all in black, like he's one of them. They're coming out there like that right now. You don't know who they are, but they're coming all in black, just like the others are dressed. You don't know who's who.
Yeah,
Frightening.
and you don't. And I know that they brought in action to demand that ICE remove these masks, that they identify themselves. There's also been a series of, anytime there's an opportunity for somebody to take advantage of something, you know that they're going to do it. You ever try launching a podcast with zero experience? Well, let me tell you, it's like being tossed into a cage match with a grizzly bear, blindfolded, wearing clown shoes. I mean, when I started Mea Culpa, I thought to myself, come on, how hard can this be? Well, script writing, logos, production schedules, ad deals, and don't even get me started on the tech setup. I mean, I felt like I was decoding the damn Matrix. If only I had Shopify when I launched this beast. Shopify is the platform behind millions of businesses across the globe, responsible for a whopping 10%, you hear me? 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. And my friends, that's not hype. That's a fact. From big names like Mattel and Gymshark to folks just getting their hustle off the ground, Shopify's got their back. I mean, you want a gorgeous online store? Shopify's got hundreds of sleek, ready-to-go templates that make you look like a design god. And AI tools? Yeah, they've got those too. Writing your product descriptions, jazzing up your images, maybe even making you sound smarter than you actually are. I mean, not naming names or anything, right? I mean, need a marketing squad? Shopify's built-in tools let you hit email, Instagram, TikTok, wherever your customers are scrolling or doom scrolling. And listen, Shopify handles it all. Inventory, returns, international shipping. I mean, they are the ride or die business partner that you never knew that you needed. So if you got a big idea or even a little one and you're ready to turn that dream into a reality, head over to shopify.com/Cohen. So if you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify and sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Cohen. That's Shopify, SHOPIFY.com/Cohen. One more time, that's shopify.com/Cohen. The advantage I'm talking about is you have individuals that go to these Halloween stores, these Army Navy stores. They go ahead, they get the flap jackets, they get, the black outfits, the whole 9 yards. They're already carrying firearms. They're licensed. In many of these states, you don't even need a carry permit. You just have to have a registered firearm. They go ahead, they put them on, and then they go out there. But, they identify themselves as ICE agents. And then they're grabbing young women off the street. This is exceptionally dangerous because how many videos has each and every one of you, my faithful listeners, how many of you have seen a video where an ICE agent is being questioned by somebody who's videotaping, show us your ID. Show us that you're even ICE. And you have these petrified, Spanish, or Venezuelan or El Salvadorian, migrants. You have them petrified, being zip tied. Anybody can go to an Army Navy store and buy zip ties. Shit, you can buy zip ties at your Home Depot because they're also used for automobiles, right? Or for construction. So they have these zip ties, they hang them the proper way. It doesn't take too much to make yourself look like an ICE agent. And they're grabbing people. So people are saying to them, hey, how do we know that you are who you say you are? Show us your ID. Fuck you, right? You want to be next? You want to be next? And there's 3 or 4 of them. So you're right. They travel in like a wolf pack.
Mm-hmm.
And it's extremely dangerous because we've already found in more than a handful of cases that these people are imposters and that they are taking these women and abusing them.
Yeah. Proud Boys are out there right now, Portland. They're wearing their brown shirts. Doesn't that fit them? They're wearing brown shirts, just like in Germany, Yeah, you don't know who's who. I'm very careful who I'm talking to. I'm asking others. They happen to know who's who. And they're trying to find out because Katie's bodyguard is very suspicious. I wonder
Remind
if
everybody who Katie is.
I keep forgetting how to pronounce her last name. She's the one with the black eye on all these channels lately on media, Fox News and everything, saying she was attacked.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember her last name either. Hey, Pam, let me ask you this then, because you made a choice that most people wouldn't, and very few people are even talking about. You refused Trump's pardon. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know even how that works. I still believe that you have the pardon, even though you don't want it.
No, they said I don't.
That you do not have the pardon. That they
Yeah, it was through the senator here, James Rush. They sent him a letter. It said that they will not be sending me a pardon.
Understood.
It's in. They said it a little different, but
was your refusal about your dignity, your independence, or because you saw that there might be strings attached if you accepted it?
No, it's just I was guilty. How do you take a pardon when you're guilty? Give me a break. I can't live with that. It's not about anybody else. It's about what I can live with, what I sleep with, how I have a relationship with the higher power of my own understanding. How do I face him every day? And no, I'm not going to. And plus, I didn't want to be a part of Trump's narrative, the J6 lies. I don't want to be a part of that. So if I take the pardon now, oh my God, that was like, no, they're lying about everything. But mainly, it was just for me. I couldn't be a part of that. I mean, live with it. I don't want to live with that.
It's brave of you. So, because again, you were part of that MAGA crew, when you look at the MAGA of today, do you see it as fractured and tired, or do you think it's still gripping people by the throat?
Oh, they are so angry. They're not the same. Well, they are. I noticed when I got away, I didn't have any anger anymore. I was getting some sleep. It felt I don't know how to explain it, but back then they weren't as open about being racist and against LGBT, and it wasn't as loud. Now they're louder because Trump has given them permission. It's all because of Trump. Everything points to Trump, but they've given them permission. I mean, and they're out there saying the N word. They don't care. They have just everything they've been hiding now. They got the free ticket from Trump to just say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and they're doing it. And I don't want to forget to talk about Nick Sarto. I think I was going to start with him, and I went into Katie. Right? Let me tell you, I have the interview with the lady that they're accusing attacked him. He was going around with all. Is it okay if I share this now?
Of course.
He was going around picking on all the women, not the men. And one of the ladies saw this and went up to him and asked him to leave. Pretty polite. And he said, I got a right to be here. He's real aggressive. Oh, he's very aggressive. He was aggressive with me. He said, I got everybody in prison on January the 6th. 1,500 people. Anyway, so a lady comes between, he shoves that lady. They get a little close because they want you to leave. You're agitating everybody. And he's saying terrible things to these women. Oh, it's awful. And so she puts an umbrella between them to keep, so he'll keep the distance from her because he's going like he's going to hit her. You don't know what he's going to do, somebody's going to do. And then he turns and falls into this bed. It probably was a bed for flowers at one time. It had grass in it. And that's how he broke his camera. So I walked up to him and I said, tell me the truth, because I'm on his side. If somebody really hit him, I want him to be sharing it, and I want to go talk to them and say, what did you do that for? We don't hit nobody. He wouldn't tell me nothing. I have the video if you want to see it. He would not tell me nothing. I believe because he had to wait and go somewhere else and tell his lies. Why not tell me? I said, did somebody physically touch you and push you? Because I'm talking to him and I would have gone over there and said, why did you do that?
Right.
I wouldn't want to see anybody hit.
Yeah,
Of
I mean, that's not
course,
what this protest was all about. I mean, this protest
no.
is about not to have federal troops patrolling the street, which is against the law under posse comitatus, right? The military is not supposed to police American cities. So let me ask you this, because it's like in furtherance of the earlier question. Is there a breaking point? What undeniable truth do you think exists that would finally, and I mean finally, make these people wake up and say, shit, enough. I'm just done with this. I'm done with Trump. I'm done with MAGA.
At this point, they're too far gone. They're too far gone. I've watched the best people interview him and talk to him. No, we have to get Trump out of office. That's it. And they're going to have to just go away crying, and stay with all their denial and their gaslighting and how evil we are. We're after them, and there's a deep state. No, we need to just take back our democracy, get the right people in office, because nothing you're going to do right now to help MAGA. It's not going to. You can't get through to them right now. My own family, they won't.
So let's talk about your family, right? Just pick one person who is MAGA to the point that you can't even speak to that person. Who would that person be?
Well, I promised to keep identity out of this. However, people that have
Let's
a
say
lot of.
let's just say it's a family member, right? It's a family member.
When people have a lot, well, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, what is it that is creating the rift between the two of you?
Well, I've recognized and realized, I'm sorry, that people with a lot of money, I mean, millions, they're worried about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got it, because I know my family member is not racist. I wouldn't consider him MAGA per se. They told me I was mentally ill for doing what I'm doing. So I saw my therapist, in fact, yesterday. She's a PhD from Harvard. I told her what's going on. You're not mentally ill. You're standing up for democracy. I don't know why he's saying things like that to you. Well, we know why. They have us as mentally ill. And what we're doing is saying liars. And so it's a very painful thing for me to talk about and share, because it hurts so bad. Sure. I really love this family member, and I wish they would listen to some of the facts that I've learned, but no open mind to hear it. They don't want to hear it. And
See,
I
think you're wrong, Pam. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no,
I think you're wrong.
Well,
I'm going to tell you when I believe that they're going to say enough, that I'm done with it. I'll give you an example. I don't know what this person does, but right now, Trump's running a government shutdown. Yeah. What if they worked for government? What if their business relied upon the government remaining open? And now all of a sudden, because I get it, I have a lot of incredibly wealthy friends. And they talk Trump all the time to me. But they're not talking because they agree that a woman shouldn't have reproductive decision-making rights. They don't believe that ICE should be patrolling streets and kicking down doors and bringing Black Hawk helicopters into Chicago and, descending down ropes and kicking down doors and arresting and separating families. They don't believe that. But they like his tax policies. They like the fact that they're going to keep more money in their pockets. Now, the sickest thing is some of these people are so rich, they couldn't spend all their money. And I mean it. Could not spend all their money in 100 lifetimes. But they're all about their next boat, their next airplane, their next, their next vacation home that they want to buy, adding another 10,000 square feet to their mansion already in the Hamptons. This is what's important to them. But when your business gets fucked up, when it gets shut down, when it gets decimated because government is no longer functioning, what do you think ends up happening? All of a sudden, as James Carville says, it's the economy, stupid. That's when, for example, farmers are saying right now, are you joking? We all voted for you. You put this stupid tariff on our product, on soy. China turned around and told us to go fuck ourselves. Argentina is now supplying China with all of the soy. So now our farmers are sitting there with millions and millions of pounds of soy, they have entire elevators filled and holding, properties filled with soy that they can't sell because there's no market. And these folks don't want handouts. They're hardworking, decent, honest people. And now they can't sell their product. Why? Why? Because Trump imposed a tariff, right? And we just bailed out Argentina as well on top of everything so that they could what? Now steal the customer, right, for our soy. That's when people will say, holy shit, I'm done.
Yeah, in fact, I spoke to a lady that's an advocate for the farmers, and she came out and she was telling me that the Proud Boys are getting $1,000 for everyone they can find and arrest out in the farms. I got that on video. I got it on video, what she said.
So now he's got.
Everything I'm sharing, I can't give you what she's saying. I just want you to know.
Well, okay, I understand. So now you're talking about having bounty hunters, but
by sheriffs. Sheriffs are getting them out there.
Amazing. So when you see stuff like this, does it feel like the same guy who once claimed that he fought for the forgotten men and women, or is this something completely different?
No, this is a self-centered, dangerous narcissist. He don't care about it. What's he got to lose? How old is he? He's got all the money he could ever want in his lifetime. He don't care. He's having fun. He needs the money to have power because power is his heroin. It's his drug. To be in power, to be the king, I'll show you. He is not going to pay attention to what the attorney said in Portland. He's gonna try to do the Insurrection Act or something to get down there. He's not. He's the king right now. He can do whatever the hell he feels he wants to do. Period. He's very dangerous, and I'm gonna not be surprised if I get down there and I hear he's done the Insurrection Act. He's lost his mind. He really has. He's delusional. He needs to go on a vacation because he's seeing things. He's making up things. I can visualize it. I see what's happening. He's very naive. He doesn't research or he doesn't know what's going on at all. They show him pictures, they show him a little video. See, Trump, look at this. And they're just, he's gullible and he says, yeah, oh, that's horrible down there in Portland. It's on fire. Let's go get him. And anybody's going to try to stop him? Ain't going to happen. He's already, threatening to arrest with the mayor in Chicago?
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Yeah. See, he's insane.
No,
he's
not
you're
talking about the governor, Governor Pritzker.
Oh, the governor. Yeah.
But I speak to a lot of people, including MAGA folks. I do, whether it's this podcast, whether it's on my other social media platforms like Substack or TikTok, whatever. Many of them have lost their jobs. They've lost their benefits. And in fact, they're even now completely devoid of their savings, all
Oh,
as a result of this chaos.
yeah.
And
He
here's the
loves it.
thing. Here, well, sure. Their pain that they are now personally feeling, I truly believe will be the line in the sand that breaks their devotion to him. I believe it because, yeah, while they had their job and so on, they like this sort of aggressive, mean, tone, this fake masculinity, right? That, that they're projecting. When you start to feel that pain yourself, when you have not a dime in the bank because you had to spend it to stay
Yeah.
alive, you lost your job. Either it's been furloughed or Doge came and just cut it. Now you have no benefits too. You need to make a rent
Yeah.
payment or you need to make a mortgage payment. You don't have
Mm.
money to put gas, can't put food on the table, and you can't even afford your medication. Let me tell you something. That's when devotion breaks. And you know what? We're seeing it right now in terms of poll after poll.
Michael, you're right on. See, as an alcohol and drug counselor, and I've been sober, myself for 46 years in a 12-step program, it wasn't until the alcoholic or the addict hit their own bottom. And this is what you're describing. They're
Mhm.
hitting their own bottom. And you're right. I wasn't thinking when you asked me that question. This is what has to happen. They have to feel their own pain first to get out of denial. Go, the picture's not right here. There's a deep state, Trump told us. That's after us and going to destroy this country. And they're watching Trump do it. They're actually seeing it's Trump that's destroying this country. They're waking up a lot more. So there's some
I think
hope.
so.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
So what did you say? You're sober 46 years?
Yeah.
Well, very good. I've actually been sober for 59 years.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
I'm 59, I'm
fantastic.
59 years of age.
You're funny.
I've
You're
never been
funny.
drunk.
Oh, wait. It just hit me what you said. Oh, Michael, you're
Yeah, there you
funny.
go. Yeah,
But I
thank you
do it
very
one
much.
day at a time.
I
One day
don't
at a
blame you.
time.
And you know what? You stay strong. So I want to pivot for a second because it's not only about Portland, Oregon, that things are completely chaotic right now.
Yeah.
Take the Epstein files. Another issue that MAGA has incredibly strong feelings for. Trump's allies spun this story to MAGA as if it was only Democrats' issue, right? Democrats are this cabal of sex trafficking, child molesting, raping animals. But here's the problem. The file says differently. A lot. In fact, something that we know, and it's not my opinion, it's a fact. Trump's name exists in that file as well. Now, I want to be clear. We don't know in what capacity, and I don't pretend to even know the answer to that myself. Look, between the government shutdown, Congress playing hot potato with crises, and the media losing its mind daily, life feels like a full-time national emergency. And yet, somehow, I used to come home and collapse onto my old mattress like it was some medieval punishment or what I had in solitary confinement. But then I tried Lisa. And let me tell you, my Lisa hybrid mattress, it's an absolute game changer. I lay down and it's like the chaos just, it pauses. Plush where it should be, supportive where it counts. My back, my shoulders, even my poor stressed out brain, it all finally relaxes. I sleep harder and deeper than I have in years. And trust me, I have some wild nights, and I'm not even talking about politics here. But yet the best part, Lisa isn't just about me getting my beauty rest. They donate mattresses to people in need, and they help clean up our oceans. So while I'm sleeping like a baby, someone else is getting a shot at comfort too. So here's the deal. Go right now to lisa.com and use promo code Cohen. You'll get 20% off your mattress plus an extra $50 off, exclusive for my listeners only. So that's Lisa, LEESA.com, promo code Cohen, COHEN. support our show, get a mattress that actually works, and finally, and I mean finally, sleep like a sane person. But his name remains in that file. Do MAGA supporters even want to hear the truth on that?
I really can't speak on what they may want, but however, see,
What do you want?
if my name was in there, I want it all out. If I'm innocent, oh God, show all this stuff. I wasn't involved in that, right? Isn't that your first thought? If
Mhm.
somebody was accusing you, get the proof, get the evidence. Come on, show the world that I'm not, a pedophile. That's the first thing. I think they're a little afraid of that. I think they know. See, they. It's like they're blinded on purpose. It's like, when I talked to him when he said, grab him by the pee. And all the response was, oh, it's just locker talk. This is what they're doing. Oh, they're just trying to go after Trump and make stuff up. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying. He may have been friends with them. Look, at Trump doesn't care if those files come out to hurt somebody else. And narcissists don't care about hurting somebody else. He knows what he's done, and that's what he's afraid of, and he's trying to keep it hidden. That's all. We all know that. We can see through what
Well,
Trump
I'm
is
not so
doing.
sure. Again, I'm not so sure, and I don't mean to interrupt you again, but
Oh,
we
well.
don't know in what capacity that Trump's
Ah,
name exists in that file. We know that he was on the airplane, but then again, what
what?
I was told by Michael Wolff, who was
Yeah.
asked by Jeffrey Epstein to spend time with him because he was going to write his autobiography, was that Trump used to use Epstein all the time for a free flight down to Florida, even though Trump had his own airplane. Why should I spend the money in the gas when I could jump on your plane and go down to Palm Beach? So we don't know. And I hate the concept of innuendo and conspiracy theories. But one thing we know, and you bring up a great point, is that he is in that file. And if I was in that file, I would want the whole thing released unredacted to clear my name. So I'm with you on that one.
Well, if you were a friend of mine and you're hanging out with Epstein, I wouldn't be your friend anymore. I said, why are you hanging out with somebody like that? Shame on you. You
Hmm.
know, just hanging out with him is enough for me. I mean, I don't care what else you did. Just being associated with that man is disgusting.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. All the people, women he's hurting. Oh my God.
Hey, Pam, when you were part of the MAGA cult, did you ever find yourself parroting comments that others in that MAGA world were parroting, and then sort of say to yourself, I know it's not true, and I don't even know why the hell I said it, but it's almost like to remain in the club, you have to repeat the lie.
Yeah, I'm sure I did at some points. But when you go to them, because I would go to them and say, I want to know how did the election get stolen? And they would right away gaslight you. Whatever you're reading, whatever you're listening to, don't, because Pam, they're all lying about everything. So this gut feeling kept telling me something's. Why aren't they giving me some information? Why I'm just believing what you're saying. This is the lieutenant governor here. Two people with 2 PhDs, and they're smarter than me. They research, and I don't. So I'm going to trust them. I'm believing everything they're telling me. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because MAGA, they always talk about freedom, right? I mean, it's a big part of their slogan process. But when you saw all of these federal agents, I want to go back to Portland for a second, because it's not just Portland. You
Yeah.
have the federalization of police forces. You have the National Guard in Washington, D.C. You have them in Los Angeles. We have them in New York, sparingly, but he wants to bring a ton to New York. He wants to bring them to, obviously, Chicago. That's next. He's got him in Portland, Oregon. It's almost as if he wants to have the military patrolling the streets in every city, especially the blue ones. But when you saw these federal agents in their uniforms, their camouflage, scooping civilians off the street, because we've seen it again. We saw it in DC, we saw it in LA, we saw it everywhere. How free did that make you actually feel?
Oh, I told you I felt like I'm in Germany that night. I was so frightened because you don't know who they're going to pick, and you don't have to do anything. That's the problem. But first, we need to realize if you read Project 2025, you already know what's going to happen next. And I talked about this a year ago. I said what he's going to do is he's going to stop all the protests. He's going to take away you protested against him, and he'll shut you down. He'll find a way to stop the protests. And I thought, well, maybe I'm talking like a conspiracy, but I was reading it in Project 2025. So I'm reading now, and I'm every time I'm reading something, a month later, it's happening. So just go to the Project 2025 manual for leadership, and you'll know what Trump's up to next.
It's true. It's true. That 922-page manifesto, which in its entirety is designed within which to destroy our democratic republic. You're 100% right. That's exactly what you need to do. You go to the next chapter and then understand, right? Cross off the ones that he's already done, knowing that he'll come back to those, right? But let's see what's new in the horizon, right? So let me then...
He's testing. He's testing right now. He's testing.
He most certainly is. So look, from Portland protests to January 6th, Trump uses the same language. He's calling Americans who disagree with him enemies of the state. They are enemies. You think that language still resonates with his base, or do you think people are finally exhausted by it?
Not when I'm down there in Portland. You should hear what Mega's saying. Oh my shit, they repeat you're domestic terrorist and horrible things. Everything you hear Trump say about us is what they're repeating, the same thing. And they believe it. They believe it. I said, sit down and have coffee with these people. Don't talk politics. Get to know them. They're humans. They want the same things you do. They want the United States to hold up the Constitution for everyone. That's why I voted for Harris, because she cared about everybody, not just Democrats, She wanted the nation to be upholding our Constitution. She wanted freedom for all people. And they won't do that. They're not willing. This one guy, though, he threatened. He said that they're bringing 6,000. And I got it on video, his own words. 6,000 megas down there. And he said, this time, we're not going to yell at you or push you or hit you. We're just coming with our guns. And if you interfere with the National Guard, we're going to shoot you.
Yeah, well, that would be murder.
Well, that would be
murder.
I'm just saying some of them are so far gone. I don't know. But they're so far gone because of Trump. They're thinking that they got to come there and be the heroes, the Proud Boys and all of them, and start trouble. And that's what they're doing down there. They're coming there purposely, like Nick and Katie and a whole bunch of them. They're coming more and more every day to start trouble, to help Trump make it look like they're violent. It's all a theater.
You remember we had that same thing in Florida with the guy Rittenhouse, right? Where this idiot decides he wants to go into a community that's, by the way, not even his, in order to protect the community, and ends up shooting, somebody else. I mean,
that's what could happen in Portland.
And gets off onto it. So meanwhile, look, the hour goes by, unfortunately, way too quickly here. So I want to end with this question to you. So far, we've talked about pardons, we've talked about shutdowns, government shutdown, military crackdowns. Pam, you honestly believe that Trump is doing all of this to save America? Or is it really just about saving Donald Trump himself?
Oh, absolutely. Just Donald Trump himself. He does not care about this nation at all. He don't care about you. No, he uses you. You're the pawn for him to do his dirty work. You're the flying monkey. That I know you're familiar with that term. Where
I am.
He gets you to go out there and get his message. Yeah. No, a narcissist like him, he don't care about anybody. Just himself and his image and his ego and his being a king now because they've told him he's king and that he was sent here by God. Oh my God, that's frightening. So yeah, you're correct.
Well,
You're
we
correct.
certainly know that he has monarchical inclinations. I mean, nobody else has ever decided to put themselves on, currency. As you know, that they're putting Trump's
Oh
face
my,
on the front and back of the
uh,
250th
of course,
anniversary
yeah. You
commemorative coin. So yeah, I mean, that's not
can't
something
be.
that we've seen here in America in the past.
Please, people, recognize Trump for who he really is. He's a very ill, sick man, very dangerous man, and you've got to stand up with the people that are trying to save our democracy. Don't use words, use action. It's like, for example, it was one thing for me to say I'm sorry for being there on January 6th, but why I'm speaking out even to this day, I'm making amends for ever being there that day. And you've got to do the work. You got to get out there with me. Come visit me. We'll videotape and prove they're lying together because I can't do it by myself. We don't have enough left media out there. I heard CNN finally got out there. We don't have enough people. They're all mega out there videotaping and podcasters causing problems. So I need the help. If any of you want to help me, I'll be
Well,
there
there
for
you go.
5 days.
Well, Pam Hemphill, thank you so much for joining me
Thank
again
you.
on Mea Culpa. You stay safe, my friend.
I will.
And, keep sending me those videos. I appreciate
I
them.
will.
Because I do put them out, and people are really interested in seeing the dichotomy of what you're hearing from the right-wing media versus what you're seeing from the left-wing media.
Okay, I have a
And the
YouTube
beautiful
channel.
thing about those videos, they don't lie.
Yeah, and I have a YouTube channel. I just put them up to save them on the YouTube
Amen
channel.
to
It's
that.
Pam Hemphill 79, so you could go see them. It's a lot of work when you're there to get videos up real quick because you're working. I have to keep it. Something changes every second, and I'm trying to run over and videotape, and it's really hard to do by myself.
Well, thank you, Pam. Appreciate you.
Thank
And again,
you.
stay safe.
Thank you very much. Good seeing you, Michael.